guys, and welcome to Travel Troubles. I'm Sean. This here is...
If you don't know by now, you should.
This is Holly. She just likes to leave big pauses in podcasts at the start of them.
Yeah.
Yeah. And if you haven't seen this podcast and you don't know what it is about, then just like every week we tell you, it's about our travels and our troubles. And it's about our travels with each other.
And travelling in general.
And just travelling in general. And I think we have the most troubles we've had since travelling ever. Like, this is going to be the best podcast. So if you're watching for this one, well done, guys. You found the best podcast so far.
It's downhill from here.
No. You can just not watch anything else before it. You're on the good one. So each week we give it, as I said, and we kind of use this as a therapy. And if you are new here, then we've been travelling Vietnam, and we've also travelled Australia. We've lived in the Lake District, and that's all I'll back up. But last week we were, where were we? Ninh Binh,
Phong Nha, and Hoi.
So we put down the camera on the last week's Troubles just before karaoke night. And we seem to be putting down the camera a lot before a big
chaos
sleepless
happens.
night.
Yeah.
And I believe we're going to do the same here, but it's different chaos, and we'll get onto that in a bit. So chaos karaoke night was horrible. We were in, where were we? In Ninh Binh. And for some reason they had a work do, and it was absolute chaos, like karaoke to the highest level.
We've spoke about their love of speakers here before.
I think so, yeah.
But when you're in a hotel that you're obviously paying for to rest, you don't exactly want to hear a little Vietnamese man singing badly,
very badly,
top of his lungs.
I don't mean top of your lungs. I mean, if you see there's a TV above us, I don't know if it's in the screen, but if you put your TV on full blast,
it was up at 100.
At 100, and TVs are pretty loud. You couldn't work out what they were saying on the TV. You could hear the noise of the TV, but you couldn't.
You could feel the vibration of the microphone.
It was, and that went on to 11 o'clock, and I just went out and I left them a lovely review, which I got a message back on WhatsApp from them saying,
sorry you weren't happy.
So
it's like
it was the most passive aggressive. I felt slightly bad after it, but I was also like, we paid to sleep there and we couldn't sleep.
We've worked in hospitality for years, right? We've had multiple Christmas nights out. I get that everywhere can't afford to close, but you should let your customers know that are coming to stay with you that there's going to be a big party on and it'll be like on till late.
Yeah.
Because I think if we didn't say anything, nothing would have been done.
Yeah. And we were right next to it. There were other people up the road that weren't as close, but we were right next to it, and it was... Oh. Anyway, that was horrendous. We then moved off to...
Phong Nha, which we nearly never got to.
Because we got on the bus, and the bus driver didn't want to... He literally started driving past it, and we were like, surely we should have turned up that road to go up to where we're going. And it was like, I think he was just going to go past it and go up to...
Hoi.
And we're like... That would have been so stressful, trying to get back up from there. But luckily, I spoke to the driver and kind of got shouted at, and he was like, yeah, I will go in that way, like, and then turned really quite
This was also the driver that was not happy with anyone.
Oh, yeah, he was shouting at everyone.
Yeah.
So as we got on the bus for this driver, you have to take your shoes off on a lot of the sleeper buses, but I took my shoes off just before I got onto the bus, or I didn't take them on the right place, and he started shouting at us.
But and couldn't understand a word he was saying.
Yeah.
So.
And then he was shouting at other people because they were sitting in the wrong seats, and it was just like...
Even though there's no assigned seats.
And it was... And was that the one who strapped the tree to the top of the bus?
Yeah, that was that one.
No, it wasn't. I think that was the one before.
No, that was that one.
Was it? Mm-hmm. I get confused because they're all chaos.
That was a long journey with the bigger beds.
Right, and there was...
Yeah, that was the one that it was strapped to the roof, because with the French guy that was...
No, it wasn't. No, it was this was the Spanish lot, and we got on the little bus afterwards. No, the one was...
Sean... No.
Oh, no, it wasn't.
Yeah, that was the one from Ninh Binh to Phong Nha. The one you're thinking of is the next journey after that. Yeah.
Oh, you're right. Yeah. So Yeah, so
Buses and...
they're all chaos, as you can tell. Like, we were arguing about which ones are which. It was chaos, yeah. It had a tree strapped to the roof on this one. It was...
Yeah, the one from Nam Ben to Phong Nha was the one with the tree strapped to the roof. The one from Phong Nha to Hoi was the one where we got off at a petrol station in the middle of nowhere, got put on a minibus. There was no room on this minibus, so a poor Irish guy had to sit on a stool. It was like Albania flashbacks.
Yeah. In the middle of a minibus, that was chaos. They're just very, like, you're very thankful when you get to the location. But it's funny because with the rooms you get when you're on the bus, once you're on it, you're kind of like, right, you have to have like tunnel vision and think, right, this is my room, this is my space, all I've got to worry about is getting to my location. And that's what you've got to think. Don't worry about the tree on the top, don't worry about the people shouting next to you, don't worry about anything else. I'm sitting there editing my videos on this.
Sorry, I keep looking off of camera because there's a spider on the wall. And if I take my eyes off of it, I don't know where it's going to go.
It's only a little one, don't worry about it.
Yeah, but it may be the reason for one of these bites.
I'll sort it out later.
Okay, that's fine.
Right, so as we said, we went to Phong Nha. That was nice. There's a good video of that, so make sure you check that out. And then we went off to Hue. I can never pronounce it.
Hue. It's spelt hue, like a colour, like the hues.
Yeah.
But it's not pronounced that way.
And that's a really nice place. It's very cultural there. Was that right? Was that the right place?
Yeah, that was the one we went to, Tombs and the old Citadel, and it was nice.
It was very nice. It was one of those places we were going to skip over, but we...
Yeah, because people gave it like a bad rap on like TikTok and Instagram pages. People were like, well, you could give it a miss. It's like, no.
Some of the best food we've had was there.
Some of the best food, some of the best service.
Yeah.
We had a receptionist that we didn't have a clue where we were going our first day there.
She planned it all.
She sat us down. She was like, okay, you're doing this and then you're doing this.
Yeah, it was...
Well, don't worry about it. You can pay for it when you leave.
And yeah, that was good. She literally planned day 1, day 2, and our trip down to where we are right now. And that trip, as much as it was really small leg room, and visibility on a place where visibility should have been good was terrible, but that's not their fault. It was a right trip, and especially like we didn't pay that much more for like a slow stops and seeing places on the way down compared to just a bus down here.
Yeah, it was nice to actually stop every hour or so and stretch your legs when you're in a position where you're cramped up. That was nice.
And then we arrived at Hoi An.
Which Sean's called Hanoi once already.
Or in the video?
Not in this video.
Oh, in the other video, yes. They're anagrams of each other, but we're in Hoi An and chaos occurred.
Yeah.
Did you want to talk about this or shall I?
No, on you go.
Oh, right, so we arrived here, got off that tour bus as we were saying, and we arrived and we turned up at this place called the Silver Moon. And we turned up and we'd already, like before we'd even booked this place, we'd already had troubles with another place in Hoi An on booking.com that was sending us scammy links, asking for passport details.
Telling us that we won't be able to, if we don't give them money up front, we won't be able to have anywhere to stay during Lunar New Year, which is completely false.
And they were saying that, like, yeah, it was trying to get all this money out of us.
It was scaremongering.
And if it was on free cancellation, that's what I was trying to get at.
Yeah, on booking.com it states free cancellation, and we picked places with free cancellation up until normally the day before because plans change. Yeah. So this place, we were like, right, okay, we're avoiding that. So we did more research in Hoi An, and we're like, right, okay, we found the Silver Moon Hotel, and our research said, right, the dodgy thing about it was the alleyway walking up here, and I was thinking, right, that's fine. I can deal with an alleyway as long as the hotel itself is nice because we're staying here for a week. And we're like, oh, great, cool. So we turned up there, and there's a guy on the reception, I think some sort of an uncle or something.
Relation to the owner. And he doesn't speak very good English, but I don't speak very good Vietnamese, so I can't really... You
can't even say Vietnamese.
Yeah, I can't really comment on that, but I just wanted to explain that our communication level wasn't great. So we turn up there and he knows that my booking's on the thing, so he takes a scan of our passport like they all do here, so it's nothing weird. And then
Except he's the only one that's ever took a picture of our visa.
yeah, which is, I guess, good because they need to check that we're
Within our 45
5
days.
yeah. So he does all that, and then he's goes, oh, I've got no key for your room. Mm-hmm. So he takes us to the room, so he's hoping the key's kind of in the room. We get into the room, and the key's not in it. And the key's very similar to every hotel we've stayed at. It controls the electricity.
You might be able to see the one just above Sean's head.
Just above my head, if I don't know if it can see it. But it controls electricity, and if you take the key out, it doesn't work. So the door's open, so we walk in the room. There's no electricity in the room because there's no key.
And we've just been walking with a backpack on our back in the sweltering heat. You want air conditioning.
Yeah, so he's like, oh, I'll be back. I'm back. So, okay, 10 minutes waiting. We're sitting on this bed, just sitting on the bed, haven't unpacked anything. We're like... So I go down all the stairs again, around this pool that somehow using the
You
pool...
had about a foot clearance.
Yeah, but there's no like rail or anything. Like we had 2 backpacks on at one point. I'm like, if I tip at any point...
We're going in the pool.
And with all my equipment, and that's not fun. But yeah, go around this pool, go back to the reception, say, hey, have you got the key? And then he's scrambling, he finds like a load of keys, about 30 of these keys, and he's scrambling and gets these keys out, and then he finds like another a clip that you can put in the door for the... So he's got all these keys, he walks upstairs, puts the thing in the door, and like aircon comes on, lights come on, everything comes on. I was like, oh, great. And then he's scrambling these keys. First of all, first couple of minutes, he's putting the key in the wrong way, so it's not going in the lock. And I'm like, oh,
It's horrible.
do I tell him? But translation wouldn't work, so... He's still going. 5 minutes later, he gets a key and he gets the lock. It's the most stiffest lock ever, but okay, we got a key, we got a lock. He leaves us, and the room is definitely not as nice as this one.
No.
And we're sitting there and we're like, okay, let's get this aircon on, because it's just blowing out air. Like,
It was blowing out 24 degrees
yeah, just...
air,
And we're like,
which was probably hotter than what the room was at the time.
and we're like, we just want to cool it down. So we grab the aircon remote, and it's not working. It doesn't change anything. Because a lot of the time, the aircon remotes, if you know anything about aircon, if you press the buttons on the aircon remote and not point it at the aircon, it will look like it's changed, but it doesn't change in the aircon.
Yeah.
And you have to make sure you're on the right mode if you want to turn it down. A lot of people somehow...
Yeah, but the problem with the one that was in this room was the brand of the air conditioning unit and the brand on the remote were 2 completely different things. So I think they had chose the presetting
Yeah.
and just put in a remote to make you think that you were changing it, but you weren't.
So I go down. I don't know, Holly, you turn around to me and say,
Oh, we'll try maybe it's the batteries, because I hadn't realised it was 2 different brands. Maybe it's the batteries. Just take the batteries out the TV remote and put it in the back of it and see if it works.
So we've got a TV, a nice like flat screen TV in the room, and which is on booking.com where we booked it, and it says there's a nice TV. And I go, have you seen the TV remote? Because I haven't, and there's no TV remote. So I go downstairs and explain to him the aircon's not working and there's no TV remote. And he says to me, no, aircon remote, not TV. And I say, no. I try and explain, but again, it's very hard. So he comes upstairs, he looks at the aircon, he says, oh yeah, not working. And then I say, yeah, and also there's no TV remote. And he goes, no TV. I'm like,
no rooms get TV.
And I was like,
oh, that's funny, because it's on the advert. Which, yeah, we don't use the TV a whole lot, but sometimes you don't know of weather or you've got downtime. You want to put something on the telly.
Well, we're staying during Tet. This is the biggest thing. This is the reason why we wanted a TV and having a nice room is because during Tet is a big holiday here and a lot of things close down, maybe. We don't know. And we kind of want to be somewhere that if we have to spend 2 days in a room, just us two, we need to be comfortable with that. And that wasn't going to be the case, so we packed up our stuff and left there and then. Never done that before. We'd never walked out of a hotel and had nowhere to stay.
But the thing is the biggest thing when you're travelling is security.
Yes.
And this key that went in this, Sean had to fight with a lock to try and get the key back out of it. And to lock it, you had to push the lock on the inside of the handle to close the door behind you. I'm like, that shouldn't be how you close a door, because that could be so easily broken. Those push locks, you can just turn the handle.
Yeah, really hard, yeah.
And there's things like, valuables of ours that would potentially be left in the room anytime, which, I know you're meant to take everything with you, but you can't physically take everything with you at all times.
Yeah. So we left, and we booked another place on booking.com last minute.
I was sat looking at them in front of the owner when he was trying to put the key in. I was like, I can't stay here.
No. So we ended up in this place. What's this place called?
Oh, I'm going to butcher the pronunciation of this.
Go on.
Huo. It's Huo.
Yeah.
Or HOA. HOA.
Yeah.
Ho Vang Villa.
Which means...
Yellow flower.
And it's absolutely stunning here. It is incredible. You have to watch our Hoi An video, which is out next week. Before next week's Travel Troubles, I believe. Just try and work out my schedule. I believe it's next Wednesday for you guys. So there's no videos for nearly a week on this channel. But it's going to be incredible, like, video. Because
as soon as we walked in the door, it was like night and day. This woman, and I feel really bad because I didn't catch her name or she didn't tell us her name. Yeah. But immediately she was like, oh, sorry, I've been cleaning for Tet. I haven't looked at my reservations. And I'm like, no, we literally booked this 2 minutes ago. Don't worry about it. Yeah. She sat us down. She cranked up all the fans because I said it was warm. And she was
so happy for us to be there.
Yeah, she was like, you have no idea how lucky you are. Which I was like, yeah, we are. We know we're lucky because we've found somewhere that's actually nice to stay. But she's like, big festival, you know, a lot goes on at this time, and I'm grateful to have you in my home. Wow, okay.
Yeah, it's so nice. It's such a change of pace to what we arrived in the other place. Don't get me wrong, the guy wasn't nasty or anything in the other place, but the atmosphere here is so nice. But yeah, we're so happy to be here, and we're right on the river, and there's so much things happening. She took us to her sister's shop.
Yeah, we got stuff tailored.
Again, this is all in the video, but yeah, it's going to be really...
That's what she was chatting with us when we were waiting on our room yesterday. She's like, do you want tailoring done? If you do, you let me know. Yeah. Or if you want anything booked, you let me know. She's like, because there's places that might not be open. She's like, but they probably are open. Yeah. And I'll do the booking for you. Like,
she's like a mother, sort of. This is her like baby, this place, and it's lovely. But before we talk about too much nice things, let's move on to our travel troubles with each other. And my travel troubles actually delves into more troubles that we've had.
Okay.
And I'm going to start with my travel troubles about you. And my travel troubles about you is the fact that you let people annoy you. But don't get me wrong, people are very annoying. But you let it take over you sometimes. So I'll give you a couple of examples. You'll know where I'm going with this. So we were in a restaurant in Hue, and we were sitting next to backpackers. And you get very into like the fact that the people next to you on this table are just like annoying as hell. And it becomes part of our meal. And it's like, right, we need to ignore them and just get on. And then we'd go into another restaurant, and then there'd be another annoying table. Or the people on our bus. Actually, I'm going to jump back onto you after. I need to moan about the people on our bus.
Oh yeah, because, you know, pot kettle.
The people on our bus, it's not the fact that we moan about it, it's the fact that you let it take over sometimes. But the people on our bus were very annoying, weren't they? So we were on a tour going from place to place to place, and they decided to...
they were literally the catalogue of things to not do on a tour bus.
They spoke the whole way through, like, I know their whole details, and they were the only ones like...
I don't think they came up for air at any point.
He was eating... We got given...
Banh-mi's.
With peanut butter. He took one bite of it in about half hour because he was talking so much. Yeah. But that didn't... As much as that's annoying, it's not the end of the world. The one thing that they did really... I was... frustrated by. So we all get on the bus, and this second from last woman comes back and goes, "Oh, can you hold the bus because these guys are going to get food and they want the bus to wait and they don't want the bus to go off. It's literally time for the bus to leave now." And we're like, bit rude. Like, I thought
the time when you get off.
Yeah.
Like, they were stopping at destinations and they're like, "You've got an hour here. 1 hour.
And
you need to be back at the bus for this time."
I thought that's a bit rude. But the bus driver's like, no, we'll go get them because that can't
We're not
happen.
waiting.
We're not waiting. And something in my head, when someone says, I'm going to get food, it means, I'm going to get food. Obviously, the time we've got to leave, they're going to get food, put it in a takeaway dish, and then make their way back to the bus. They'll be 5-10 minutes late. No, the bus stand up there. They were sitting down eating in a restaurant. Yeah. They just ordered.
Not caring in the world.
And they were, the bus is there. And then they thanked the woman for letting us stop. Don't apologise to the bus. And it's like, you literally were going to sit down and have a meal and let the whole bus wait for you.
This was the last stop. You were about to get off the bus in about an hour where you could have got fed. Like, you could have waited an hour. You'd only been fed half an hour before.
So...
And they... What else did she do? She got on the bus. She's like, I thought our bus was brown. No, you didn't, because you've managed to find it for the entire rest of the day. You're at it.
Yeah. You're sitting in the restaurant, and but the reason why this is Holly's travel is the fact that will eat into you when we travel. No?
I'm pretty sure I've seen you in the exact same circumstance before, and you're just being a massive hypocrite.
Go on, and
do you want to talk about the women in Iceland, or?
I know the woman in Iceland.
Sometimes Sean likes to rile me, so as much as he's saying, it gets on your nerves. Yeah, but then you start moaning, so you've put fuel on the fire, mate. These people.
There's a time and a place, and this is our time and place to rant about people. I think
these girls.
You sometimes can be quite loud. That's what I mean. It's sometimes I don't mind about the rant. It's sometimes I feel like people can hear you ranting about them, and that's
good.
That makes me feel really awkward. Sometimes.
No, it's a life lesson.
That's what I meant by it. If you want to talk about people behind their backs, do that. Don't talk to their face. That's rude. So have you got anything to, or have I been...
I'm not done moaning at you yet.
What about?
Your travel with me.
Well, you got more to moan about...
Yeah.
Oh, go on, carry on.
Did you or did you not also complain about them? Also say that she was one of the most depressive human beings you've ever came across in your life when she was sat a foot away from you, Sean? Or is it just me that makes loud comments?
I was quiet with it. That's what I was getting at. You were quiet.
All right, Pinocchio.
Right, anyway. Let's move on from your travels to mine.
It's travel troubles, plural, this week. Wow. I think I'm just storing them up.
Okay.
When it comes to Sean. What one do you want?
Oh, I know which one you're going with. Let's go with the one that I know.
What one's that?
Bank card.
Really, this should have been filmed last night because I was in like the peak of furious with Sean. Sean is a 31-year-old man. Sorry, nearly 32-year-old man in this country. You're 31 years old. And you cannot even be responsible or have enough mental capability to realise that when you put your card into a bank card machine, an ATM, you need to wait for it to come back out. You don't just take the cash and leave.
Yeah, I forgot.
What's the stages of using a card machine, like a cash line? What is it?
Put card in. Put pin in. Press all the buttons, get your cash out.
Yep.
Remember the pain from when Holly slapped me to remember the card. You slapped me on the back and went, you'll remember this the next time you won't forget your
you're
card.
making it out as if I beat you.
To be fair, the amount of bruises on your legs, it looks like we get into many fights. We don't. They are from genuine things, guys. We've done this last week. And
Sean wasn't hit that hard. Sean was given a telling off smack on the back.
Yeah, it was.
Because it's not the fact that you left your bank card in a machine in the middle of Vietnam. It's the fact that you didn't realise. Not 5 minutes later, not 10 minutes later, pushing 15 minutes later when we were in a shop, which we walked out of our way to go to. And Sean was like, oh, it's fine, I'll just pay by card, it's fine, this it's a chain, it doesn't charge you 3%, which that is a thing that they do in Vietnam.
Yeah.
Unless it's a chain, they charge you 3% every time you use a card, which is pennies, really.
Well, yeah, it's 3%, isn't it? Yeah.
But
it's sometimes you to get cash out, but sometimes like it's really awkward to get.
he then went into a panic in a shop.
Yeah, because I was like, oh, I know what I've done.
He's like, I need to.
So I froze the bank card. So we use a Starling account.
Yeah.
I froze the bank, and then we're like, I know where it is. I'm just hoping it's still there. And we went all the way back to the cash point, and it was still there. Again, the only problem with this is someone could have took a picture of my card because obviously all the details are there. But my bank does have you have to approve or not. So it should. There was nothing taken out of the bank. For some reason, it was just everyone here is so trustworthy. And the fact I think it's coming up to Tet that there's a lot of things that you shouldn't do around this time, and being untrustworthy is
one of them.
But then I think it's in their culture not to do that.
Yeah.
Like, you'd have to be quite
corrupt.
So, like, there's so many times where the money here is like thousands, and it's so easy to give them the wrong note. Like, instead of
and they always correct you.
And they always correct you. They're very honest people.
Yeah.
So I believe that was the reason why. And obviously no one else took it. I was just so lucky. Yeah. So that's my first one. What's my second one?
Well, to be fair, that wasn't your travel trouble. You're contagious. That wasn't your travel trouble until about 12 hours ago.
So I had one before that?
Yeah.
What's that?
And it's the one, I was like that to Sean last night, do you want to know what they are or do you not want to know? And he's like, no, it's fine. Just wait till you film the podcast. My biggest pain with Sean this week is he goes, all right, okay, let's go. So I get up and I get ready. And then Sean's like, oh, but I just need to do this first. Oh, I may as well go for a wee before we go out. Oh, I've not brushed my teeth. Oh, I can't find my socks. Oh, I can't do this. So 10 minutes later, I'm still sitting there in bed like, can we go now?
Right.
No. So he gets annoyed at me because he's like, why aren't you up yet? Well, Sean, I know you need to do your ritual before we leave the house. I know that I can't just get up and go, okay, let's go. And I'm the female in this relationship. I'm meant to be the one that does that, not you.
In my defence.
No. You don't have a defence.
I do.
No.
Sometimes I've gone, come on, let's go. And you're like, no, I'm just on TikTok. I'm like, I want to know if I'm ready to go because I don't want to like do my ritual because I do have a ritual. And it's really annoying because I've realised I do have a ritual now. And so obviously the socks and forgetting things is not part of it, but it becomes part of it. I always go to the toilet before I leave. I don't know why, and I feel like I have to.
But no one else is allowed to.
What do you mean you're not allowed?
So if I was to go to the bathroom after you've done your ritual, it's like, oh.
Because then I'm
yeah, but you're like...
I don't know what it is, but it's part of...
It's always like, can we leave now? I'm sorry, excuse you? Or, better yet, we get in the lift after we've done all Sean's ritual. And what's he forgotten?
My pills. Mm-hmm. Always forget the pills.
Oh, I don't have my lactose intolerance pills. Sean, the other night I was like, how long have you been lactose intolerant for, Sean? Oh yeah, since you came back from Australia in 2018. It's now 2024.
But in my defence, it was only 1 year. Okay, there's no defence for that. I was going to say...
Well, there was also a year where you didn't use them at all. Yeah. So that's still 5 years coming up. I do have a travel positive for you. I was going to continue with travel negatives and just keep going at you, but...
Have you got another one, have you?
There's one that I feel like you just completely edit out and you won't let me say it.
Well, if there's a blank bit now, you know what it is. Got him.
Cultural shock when...
Yeah, we're going to edit this one out.
Why?
No one needs to hear about my bumhole.
Cultural shock when you come to Southeast Asia and there's a thing called the bum gun. Don't think they call it a bum gun, but it's a thing. They don't...
They do it in Europe as well.
No, they use bidets. That's different. They don't always offer toilet roll in places. Yeah. Most do, but if you're stopping at like rest stops, they probably won't have them, so you got a bum gun. And I'm pretty sure you can guess what that's for. Sean also decided...
But you got to dry your bum afterwards, didn't you?
No, Sean decided that a face cloth that this hotel had provided for us was actually his bumhole cloth because he couldn't just use the bum gun in question. He had to have a squeaky dry bumhole as well.
Yeah, I don't want a wet bum.
It gets worse.
I might leave this in, but just can you quickly just say hello to your mum and dad on this, please?
Hi, Mum. Sean's grotty and he left it on the counter right beside the sink. That was the worst part of it. I was like, I don't care if you've done that. That's yours. That can be yours. That's
The
fine.
cloth was clean because I'd washed my bum with the gun, so the cloth was just there for drying my bum, like a towel would be.
He also didn't realise that you only have to turn it on a little bit, and he really full on gave himself an enema.
Super soakers would
It's like a power washer.
I've cleaned my tongue with it.
Oh, it was like
like I was. The house was on fire and I needed to hose it out. I was like, what is going?
Yeah, he just decided that right on the countertop beside the sink was where it belonged. And I was like, Sean, what's this? Because I went to use the bathroom after him and he's like, oh, don't touch it. I'm like, what have you done to that poor place cloth? We've only been here for 5 minutes.
So that's my other travel thing. Wouldn't you love to travel with me?
It's a good thing that's off, that's all I'm going to say.
Wow.
Honestly, you're just grim sometimes.
All right.
I also thought one of my travel negatives coming from you this week was going to be like, every time I say I'm from England, Holly says she's from Scotland.
Oh, that's just...
But you say you're from England, not the UK, so that's my problem with you.
It's weird.
Just say you're from the UK. That's what they end up branding us as anyway, or you're British. Yeah, I am.
Next up on, let's give a positive. Come on. So my positive to you this week was the fact that change of plans of an emergency when we left that last, an emergency change of plans when we left that last place.
That would not have been a thing last year.
Oh, could you imagine that last year?
It wouldn't have.
The amount of stress that would have caused. The amount of... It was so good to be in a place where we were like, right, we're leaving this, let's work together and work out this. And you were like, right, I found a place. And I was like, right, cool, book it. You check, you read the reviews, checked it. We both checked over. And this is while we're walking down a busy street in Hoi An. It's like, cool.
With our backpacks on.
Backpacks on. Backpacks on is normally one of the most stressful things we do. We ended up booking a whole hotel during it, and it's amazing, like hotel. And that's my positive this week, is because how much you like... Stressful situations like that are no longer like world-ending stressful situations. They are.
Yeah,
right.
you're going to give myself a pat on the back, because you think back to when we were travelling. If you go back and watch our Sofia video in Bulgaria, we had a full-on breakdown, and I can't remember the name of the burger shop now, but we were His Burger.
Yeah.
That's what it was called, or His Burger. We were sat in there going, our entire plan that we had is just gone into chaos, and then because that happened for the entire trip of Europe, I'm self-aware of it. I was like, no, it needs to be booked in advance. Now we book things, if not on the day, we book it the day before. Yeah,
we more book hotels in advance now because we like to know where we're going, because hotels can be quite stressful to find nice places.
It's also easier to figure out how close the hotel is to the train station or the bus station than it is to find it the other way around.
And also when we travel here, it's like taxis aren't the end of the world, where
they're
in
cheap.
Europe it could have been very expensive. So it's kind of like, okay. So that's my positive. Do you have one about me?
Yeah, it's to do with the same thing.
Yeah.
You could read straight off the bat that I did not want to be in that hotel room. You were like, okay, then let's go.
Yeah.
Like, you were like, I'm going to go along with your absolute craziness and borderline unhinged motion. But I was like, I can't stay here.
No. It wouldn't have been fair to stay there.
It's not me being dramatic, because I don't think I am like a princess by any means, but the last place we stayed in set like a bar.
Yeah.
The service, the atmosphere of the room, everything was just spot on, and now this meets that.
Yeah.
Compared to what we walked into. I'm like, no, I do actually want to be a little bit more selective with our money. We've paid, like we've worked hard to save the money, not to just accept somewhere that was only working out £6 cheaper a night than this place.
Also, we're not staying at hostels. We shouldn't be getting hostel quality when we're not paying hostel value. As much as, yes, it's very cheap, it's not compared to, like, as you said.
You could stay.
Yeah.
I think place my sister stayed was £6 a night, something like that. We're paying about £17 a night for a hotel room with an ensuite, and
It's so if you travel together, it certainly saves. It doesn't save money really. Traveling together doesn't save money, but you do get more luxury.
oh, I actually have another positive.
Okay, no.
It's just come out of my head. So we went and got tailoring done today.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm just playing on padlock. We went and got tailoring done today, and I was like, right, we're only going to get one piece. I don't want to go massively over budget. Like, we'll just get one piece each. And then Sean was like, but you know you want this as well. Just get it. You've worked hard for your money, like I said.
Yeah. I was talked you into getting another piece. Yes, tailoring is more expensive than buying clothes online, even in England or Scotland. But you're never going to get this chance to do this again. Like,
no.
Well, you will, but it won't.
I kind of said that to you as well, because you were like, oh, I don't know if I'd get anything. And I'm like, well, it's now or never, really. Yeah. Because this is the place to get things tailored, like you said. And you do have to treat yourself sometimes when you're travelling. And that's something that you'll have for years now to come.
Yeah, I've got a shirt in a style that I've never had before.
But in your favourite colour.
In my favourite colour. And then you've got something...
I've got a jumpsuit.
Which should fit nice for your shape and your...
Yeah, because I'm short-torsoed and long legs, which is not... doesn't normally work well in jumpsuits.
And then you've got trousers.
I bought a pair of linen trousers.
Which should fit you like well, which is, again, being a woman with long legs, it's hard. So, yeah.
Yeah, I'm not the bog standard body measurements, so to find something that actually will fit my waist and my hips and the length of my legs is unheard of. Normally I have to go for it fits my hips, doesn't fit my waist.
Yeah. Or
it fits my waist, does not fit anywhere else in my body. Which also, you'll see that in the Hoi An video, but the woman explains to me, no, you need this like this. Yeah, and they were really good.
Yeah.
But that's a positive for Sean because he let me spend money. Massively shout at me. No, but the last time we travelled, budget was like...
Yeah.
And I don't know if it's because I'm in control, but this time I'm not as bothered by it.
I think the budget's a bit easier this time because, one, we've done the big travel before. And
so we can have a lavish day for like 60 quid.
Yeah, and if we do go like, right, let's go and spend all our money, it's not like we're going to spend grands. Where comparison to Europe it was. If we went, we could if we do a tour here, it's like, right, we do a really nice tour, we do really nice this, we're going to spend like £100, £200 max, and that's not blowing our budget. But if we did that in
anywhere
Europe, we could easily climbing a wall in.
The Dubrovnik was €36 per person, or €32 per person.
And that's blowing our daily budget just on our wall.
Yeah,
we did that, and it's completely different. I'm going to quickly end this because this podcast is massively long already. I know that because my gimbal's died and my battery's already been changed in this camera, so it is a long one this week. But I think with the amount of stuff we've done, it needs to be a long one. What I will say to you guys, though, is make sure you press that like button. It's the cheesy stuff. Subscribe, and we are doing really good on that countdown to 1,000. Mm-hmm. And I want to tell you to go watch all the videos that we've mentioned, and that's...
And if you're listening to us on Spotify, listen to it, go watch it on YouTube and like that video.
Yeah, I need watch time though, guys. Watch time is important, so make sure you watch it all the way through and watch all the other videos. We've got Hanoi now, we've got Cat Bar, we've got
Phong
Ya, Hue.
Won't be out yet, will it?
Yeah, everything's out for this point. Everything we've done. Hue and... Yeah, and there's shorts as well showing our travels up in coaches, but again, you don't have to watch that. It doesn't help my watch time much. But if you do watch it, good for you. Right, anyway, thanks for watching. I'll see you again
next Thursday.
And I'll see you again soon.